My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my ranking of Kenneth Lonergan's directed movies from worst to best, and this video will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But Kenneth Lonergan, I find to be an incredibly underrated director. I know he's only made 3 movies, but he tells these great stories about the human condition and about grief and accountability, and just he really excels in that. And I do want to mention, I find it funny because I was looking up his filmography, and he's done these 3 movies, but he also wrote The Adventures of Walkie and Bullwinkle, and what? That's just drastically different. But anyways, let's get started on this list, and his worst movie is You Can Count on Me. Now, I still really like this movie. I think Laura Linney and Mark Ruffalo both give excellent performances, some of the best I've ever seen from them. I love how small scale and intimate this movie is. It's got plenty of nuance and subtext present, and I really do think it's a very well written and directed movie, but it's also not one I find myself thinking about. It's not one I see myself revisiting. So I do like it while I'm watching it, but out of his 3 movies, it is the one to leave the smallest impact. His second best movie is Margaret. I thought this movie was really good, and the more I think about it, the more I like it. Let's begin talking about Anna Paquin's phenomenal performance. She is so talented, and I've never seen this side of her. Like the way she constantly interrupts and talks over people, and how she doesn't stop talking. Some people might feel like that's overacting, but she just plays this overly dramatic teenager to perfection. And I was really impressed by her work here. And everyone else in the supporting cast, I also thought gave a really good performance. But what really stands out about the story here is about this narcissist who goes through a traumatic event, and how that brings out the worst in her, and how she starts affecting other people's life, and how she starts to feel like they need to be held accountable. And the movie never tells you how to feel about any of this, but it leaves enough open for plenty of discussions afterwards about, well, should she have done that? Did he really deserve that? How much responsibility is on him and how much is on her? It just gives you so much story and lots of great character work with plenty of thematic depths, and you're just left thinking about it and trying to dissect it. And I just think it's a very well written movie. It definitely hits those emotional beats when it needs to. I think it's just a really good movie that I can see myself liking even more on my next rewatch. My only issue with it, and the reason why it's second place, is because I like first place movie more, and because it is a bit too long. But overall, very good movie. But my favorite movie of Kenneth Lonergan is Manchester by the Sea. This might be the most heartbreaking movie I've seen. It is utterly devastating. You just see this guy who's just a little weird, a little awkward, and we start to find out what's happened in his past. And it just leaves the biggest emotional impact. And you feel the weight of it throughout the entire movie. And, this guy who accidentally got his kids killed, and how that just destroyed him, and how he won't allow himself to feel joy or happiness again because of that. It's just a heartbreaking portrayal of grief and never being able to overcome it. And I also like the bond he forms with Lucas Hedges' character. He does a good job, and as sad and as depressing as this movie is, it still finds a way to be very funny when it needs to be. It's got moments of levity, and it just walks that tonal tightrope flawlessly. Casey Affleck, I think, gives one of the best performances ever in this movie. He's absolutely phenomenal. That scene of him in the police station, when he has a gun, he's just like, please, and he just breaks down. It is just some of the finest acting I've ever seen and ever will see. It is a 10 out of 10 flawless performance. Like I said, Lucas Hedges does a good job in this movie. Michelle Williams, I think, should have gotten the Oscar for this performance. She's not in it much, but man, like, she loves her ex-husband so much. And she wants to make things right with him and try to help him out, but he just can't let her. And she knows why, and we see how that affects her, and I just think that she has like 2 big scenes and she just nails them. Incredible performance, and just honestly just a beautiful movie about the human condition and grief and trying to overcome it, and also being honest about it and how you can't beat it always, but still not being lost in its depressive nature, but still finding those moments of levity. And I just think it is a flawless masterpiece, one of the greatest movies ever made. I love it. It is Kenneth Lonergan's best movie, and but what's your ranking of his movies? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos soon, and Gavin